go from home care to a mental health setting, what you see is overall more independence in ADLs within these neurological conditions than we saw in the home care population. But in inpatient psychiatry, the dementia population has only about 30% of people independent and 70% some level of ADL independence, compared to only about 10% in the general psychiatry population. If, however, we move to the nursing home setting, we see very few people that are independent within each of the neurological conditions, and many, many more people in nursing home settings that are severely impaired in ADLs across the neurological groups. So what we see is in each of these care settings, persons with neurological conditions had more ADL impairment than the non-neurological population. There was heterogeneity or diversity within the neurological subgroups, that not all diagnostic groups were the same, but across care settings, people in the same diagnostic group had different experiences with respect to ADL impairment. So I'll just back up for 2 slides and just keep your eye on what happens with the Alzheimer's slide. In home care, we see about 50% independence. In ADL, in mental health settings, we see about 30% independent, but by the time we're in the nursing home setting, less than 5% of the Alzheimer's population are independent. So in the different care settings, people with Alzheimer's disease look quite different from their counterparts in other parts of the continuum of care. The care planning protocols are a very important part of the inter-eye assessment, since they're the outcomes of what you can do with the assessment to trigger care planning. And I'll just show you an example related to falls. So if we look in falls and inpatient psychiatry, only about 5% of the general psychiatry population would trigger the care planning protocol for falls, but all the neurological populations are much more likely to trigger that care planning protocol.